Hello, good day everyone. In this video, pag-uusapan natin on how to sketch rational functions. Ang important steps lang naman sa pag-graph ng rational function is to find yung vertical asymptote, horizontal asymptote, the intercepts, and then the rest, ipo-plot na lang natin yung points. Kasi nasa setting tayo ng grade 9. Okay, although in general, pag nagsasketch ka ng rational functions, you need calculus. Okay, so sa video to, hindi tayo gagamit ng calculus, puro mga algebra lang. And in particular, we're going to compute for the vertical asymptote of a rational function. So recall muna natin what do we mean by a rational function. So a rational function, from the name itself, rational, fraction, rational function. So quotient lang ito ng dalawang polynomial. So basically, that is just a polynomial divided by a polynomial wherein the denominator is not 0 para maging defined ang ating rational functions. And here are the steps to compute for the vertical asymptotes. Mukha lang siyang mahaba pero maikli lang talaga. Madali lang talaga kung paano mag-compute ng vertical asymptote. So yung first step, which is an important step, in solving the vertical asymptotes or the equation of the vertical asymptote is to simplify muna yung binigay na rational expression. Kasi pag hindi kayo nag-simplify, baka sumobra yung sagot ninyo. Okay? So, sisimplify nyo to. And let's say, after simplifying, this is the simplified form. Si small p of x over small q of x. Na-simplify na, what is the next step? Makakompute mo na yung vertical asymptotes. So, take note, vertical asymptotes, lines yan. So, ang sagot ninyo for the vertical asymptotes must be equation of a line. And a vertical line has equation x equal to a constant. So, parang ganyan yung itsura niya. So, kung vertical asymptote siya, how do you compute for that constant? So, that constant, x equal to k, are the values of x that will make the denominator of the simplified form equal to 0. Basically, you just equate this to 0, solve for x, and then yung mga x equal to the solutions of that are the vertical asymptotes. Of course, it is much easier to understand yung mga sinabi kong steps kanina if you're going to apply them sa mga concrete examples. So for number 1, syempre, isa-isa lang, no? So, kaya we start with number 1. So, we write solution. Medyo OC ako sa mga sulat-sulat na solution, ganyan, para hindi tayo naliligaw whenever we are answering. So, ang first step is to simplify, cancel the common factors. For number 1, do you have common factors at 2x and x minus 1? Obviously, wala. So, gagawin mo na yung step 2, which is equate the denominator to 0. And solve for x. X minus 1 equal to 0, x equal to 1. So, this is the vertical asymptote ng rational function sa number 1. Isa lang ang kanyang vertical asymptote. How about for number 2? Okay, first step ulit is simplify the rational function. May common factors ba? 5x and x squared minus 4. Wala. They don't have a common factor. So, proceed ka na dun sa step 2 natin, which is equate the denominator to 0. So, x squared minus 4 equal to 0. And you just solve for x. Paano kinocompute to? This is a quadratic equation. You can solve this one by extracting the square root or using factoring method. Ako, I prefer the factoring method kasi pag nag-extract ng square root, kuwari nag-square root on both sides, nalilimutan nyo yung plus minus. Okay, that's why I'm gonna do this one via factoring method. And how do we compute using the factoring method? Kailangan naka-0 yung isang side. Naka-0 na to, no problem. So, x squared minus 4 is a difference of 2 square because 4 is 2 square. So, the factors must be x minus 2, x plus 2. And then equate each factor to 0. And then solve for x in each equation. So, there you have it. You have to two vertical asymptotes. Ang weird, no? Pwedeng isang vertical asymptote, pwedeng dalawang vertical asymptote. Let's try number 3. Again, you do the first step, which is an important step. Tignan nyo kung may magka-cancel in the numerator or denominator. Of course, you have to factor the numerator and denominator to determine if they have common factors. The numerator is a difference of two squares. You can factor that as x minus 1, x plus 1. And the denominator, I think, x minus 3, x plus 1. Can we check? You get x squared. Negative 3x plus x is negative 2x, negative 3. Ayan. So, cancel na tayo ng common factors. Okay? So, ang matitira sa iyo is x minus 1 over x minus 3. So, to compute for the vertical asymptote, so, sinusulat ko, vertical asymptote, you should equate the denominator to 0 of the simplified form. So, equate the denominator of x minus 3. Equate to 0. So, x is equal to 3. Ito yung equation ng kanyang vertical asymptote. So, ganun lang ulit. First step is to simplify. This is a difference of 2 cubes because x cubed plus 1 is x cubed plus 1 cube. You can factor it as x plus 1, cube root, tapos square the first term, tapos multiply nyo yan and then you negate, and then square the last term. So that's how you do it. How you factor a sum of 2 cubes or difference of 2 cubes. And then copy the denominator. And as you can see, nagka-cancel yung x plus 1. You are left with x squared minus x plus 1. And as you can see, the denominator of this is 1, which is never 0. So, hindi magzi-0 yung denominator, you don't have a vertical asymptote. Sulat natin. So, aside from computing the vertical asymptote, what have we learned from these examples? So, natutunan natin dito sa examples na ito that a rational function can have 1, 2, actually even more vertical asymptotes. And at the same time, pwede ring wala rin siyang vertical asymptotes. And there, so this is the first part of our discussion on how to sketch the graph of rational functions. Sa next video naman natin, pag-uusapan naman natin how to get the horizontal asymptote. Goodbye and see you there.